Hey, welcome everybody. We are here on the Really Charlie podcast. And this honorable guest that we have in front of us, I'm going to give you a good introduction because this man is truly an inspiration for many people. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special edition of the Really Charlie podcast. Today, we are honored to welcome a man whose leadership, discipline, service, and historic legacy have impacted not only the United States Army, but communities across the nation. Joining us is retired United States Army General Gary M. Brito. And General Brito served with distinction for decades in the United States Army and most recently served as a commanding general of the United States Army Training and Doctrine Command, one of the highest and most influential leadership positions in the entire U.S. military. Throughout his remarkable career, Gary Brittle helped shape the future of America's soldiers, military readiness, leadership and development, and national defense. He also made history as the first American Cape Verdean descent to command Fort Benning, breaking barriers while inspiring countless young people to believe excellence, integrity, and perseverance and opened the doors once thought impossible. But beyond the rank and accomplishments today, we also celebrate the man, a leader, a mentor, a visionary, a proud son of a heritage and service. This conversation is about leadership, sacrifice, purpose, family, community, and legacy. So, wherever you are watching from Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, take a moment and give this distinguished leader the respect he deserves. And we try to give people their flowers while they're standing. Please help me in introducing Gary M. Brito. I appreciate it. And that's a general. I'm sorry. I don't want to leave that out, man. it um Sir, I am, and I call you sir because I respect you first. And I'm very proud of your accomplishments. And I just, as a community, and we have, especially as Cape Verdeans, we have a knack of reaching out to people we need to know. And that's how it was possible for you to get on it. I knew a friend, they knew a friend, and then we worked it out, and then boom, you're here on the podcast, and it's an honor for you to be here, for me to be here with you.
Well, thanks for that, Charlie. And Gary, please. And actually, the honor and privilege is mine. And um, if I can take risk of boring you and the audience, I want to say thank you to everybody, the entire ecosystem. And I apologize if I cut you off at all, but I'm
No, no.
very thankful for my family. And as many can appreciate, not just blood family. If they were on the street, they were family, especially when I
Mhm.
grew up. And
Yes.
was fortunate, grew up down in Hyannis, Massachusetts, and literally on one street was my grandfather, great grandfather, uncle, another aunt, and then we were right
Mm.
around the corner. And mixed in
Wow.
the middle were people.
Mhm.
Um, and essentially, the doors were open, love was there, as you can appreciate. I would say everybody was blue collar on a good day, but
Mhm.
nobody was hungry. Lots of love, and anyone could feed you, and anyone could spank you, and
Exactly.
that helped bring up some of the values. And for the military, I can't say I had an early appreciation or desire even. I had some uncles. My uncle Rookie in New Bedford, Massachusetts, was in World War II. Uncle
Mm.
Louis, Uncle Grandfather, and others down in Hyannis were in World War II, and that was the extent of it. My father joined for a little while. Like everybody my age had some relatives that fought either Vietnam War and others within a long gap.
Yes.
So really, I had no intention of joining. And we moved away from Hyannis. I think I was 10 or so. My stepdad was in the Navy. Moved
Mm.
down to Connecticut, then Virginia. They got divorced. We moved back to Massachusetts. So I had no desire to join the Navy, and had no desire to join the Army.
Mm.
And fast forward a little bit, my mother was a waitress her entire life, rest of the soul. And my father, a truck driver. He still does that now in the Cape,
Wow.
different scale. But I applied to college. The first school that accepted me, I said, "This is it. Whatever it takes, I want to go and finish it."
Mm.
And happened to be Penn State University, and it went on from there. I don't want to hog the whole mic time, but I don't know if you had any questions or not. That's the beginning, and I can continue or see if you have any questions, or just go from there.
Yeah. All right. I have family in Hyannis. We own land in Mawson's Mills.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
great grandfather came from Cape Verde and started selling apples and vegetables. And I want to think that I think he was up to like 22 acres. And so
Okay.
it did good for him, especially when um, I'm trying to think of the year, maybe 1936 when he passed away. I mean, it was hard enough for anybody to own land, never mind an immigrant from Cape Verde, and he did it
Yeah,
along with
yeah.
many others. But he did it off the soil of the land, and until this day, the Pina family is still out there doing their thing on
I
High
have
Hill
relatives by
Road.
the same name.
Yeah, see that?
Yeah. Mhm.
We never know. I that you had talked about, going into the army, what inspired you. As you get into the army and you end up starting your career, as you move through the ranks from every level, what was your experience when you seen a Cape Verdean name on the soldier's
Yeah.
lapel there?
Good point. It happened a couple of times, not as frequently as I thought it would, and more towards the end of my career. And I think that's because more people just started to join,
Hmm,
and I started to travel more. But I'd like to go back just a little bit on the
sure.
family piece, and I offer this up to any, I would say, young person on the audience today, whatever profession or job whatever they're doing, is one thing I did learn, and others I'm sure can appreciate this from family early on, was the value of good work ethic. There's a reason I'm talking to this, Charles. Value of good work ethic, treating everybody with dignity and respect, and then being a decent person. And I did help immensely in the military career, from second lieutenant up to four-star general, or any rank that you're going to be in, because young men and women from all walks of life volunteer to join. Of course, I'm speaking of the service this time. They deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. For you as a leader to be a damn good person, pardon my language,
Hmm.
and the values that come with it. And I can now look back and trace that to Old Yarmouth Road in INS, Purchase Street, New Bedford, where my mother lived, and
Hmm.
and it just helped in the leadership aspect. Now, to your question, early on in my career, I think the first Cape Verdean I met, I was a captain stationed at National Training Center in Mojave Desert, California, Fort Aaron, California. I looked across the room and I saw the last name Almeida. I didn't
Hmm.
even have to think about it. We could tell we both connected,
Yeah.
and that was in 1998. So I'm
Wow.
aging myself a little bit. So we both were very excited, talked to each other. Pedro Almeida is from New Bedford, as a matter of
Mm.
fact, a
Oh,
helicopter pilot, and we stayed in touch over the years.
awesome.
Same at other training events. I was in the Pentagon one time and saw a last name, knew right away. We started to talk as well, and then just travels throughout. So very excited for one to see someone serving, and then with the utmost humility, and I mean that seriously. Also was honored to maybe be in a position that gave them some inspiration and hope.
Hmm.
It's hard work, I won't lie, just like any profession. So looked
Yes.
at it twofold, and especially towards the latter half of my career, to include once I was at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, where we did basic training. And it was a trainee with the same last name from Cape Verde. And I didn't know that, but they brought him to me. Well, they bought
Yeah.
the name to me. and so continued on. So truly an honor in many ways. One, to possibly show others that you can do this,
Yes.
but two, as excited to see that they were doing this, and not to sound a little. Well, bottom line, that's just the way it is, and so felt
Yeah.
very honored there. But I do want to trace back those three things I mentioned: work ethic, treating people with dignity and respect, and being a good person. Any profession needs that, and it's just being human. So I'll stop there.
Yeah. We have a comment from a
Sure.
U.S. veteran. He's actually going to be on the podcast in a couple of weeks. That's Paulo Paris, Army served, and he says, "Have you even did your homework on how to retire after all those years of service? Because it's not easy to learn how to civilian."
Yeah. Paulo, glad to see you virtually here. And for the team, did my homework. I can't say it's helped all that much yet, but because it's been a journey and it's been a challenge, but not in a bad way.
Yeah.
And the hardest part has been, I'll just lay it out. It was 38 years and 6 months when I retired, and that was my focus for all that time. So it
Hmm.
was an abrupt shift the next day. Like, okay, what next? I had a 4-day weekend, ready to go back to work. It didn't happen that way.
Wow.
Getting things started now, but there's just realities, I think, of a transition. The
Hmm.
homework that I did do, and I would offer this up to anybody that's either in uniform or another profession that's going to retire, is identify what must happen, the priority things right away, which for me was the VA Veterans Administration physicals, the medical piece. Make sure your finances are set. Communications like email, laptop, and all, because when you change the ID card, it's over.
Yeah.
You are off the network immediately. So have all that set up as well, passwords, the whole bit. So what we did was successful at, and I'm saying we because I've been married 39 years next month, but Michelle's been with
Congratulations.
me the entire ride
Wow. My
since
wife's
college
name's
on.
Michelle too.
Yeah. Oh, congrats. Yeah, from
Yeah.
college on. Well, we got married after college, but we met in college. So we decided, these are the priority things, and then the transition will come to include when we're going to take a vacation. So homework, yes. Has it been a very easy journey? Uh, no. Challenges come with it, but it's part of the transition. So far, we're steady growth, but growing in the right direction.
Yeah.
Great question, though.
Yeah. Paul was the he was the ignition to get you on this podcast, and
I recall that. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, and um a friend of mine, Anthony Tarby Richards, years ago, he had passed away during the pandemic years, and he was a veteran, um, Vietnam and Iraq. So
Wow.
yeah, and the craziest thing is that he didn't get to see you, but he always wanted you to be in the parade in New Bedford, the Cape Verdean parade, and he
I
was
made
always,
two of them.
yeah, and he missed him, he missed you, and so it's great that by the way, you look pretty good, man. When you were I loved it, man. And
Yeah.
definitely that picture, I like how it pops up over the internet.
I
Um
have that as well.
yeah, and
I actually worked hard despite there was a few challenges to go last year because it was my last one in active duty, and it
mhm,
was historic 50th uh,
yes.
independence as well.
It's I love the history and like meeting you for the first time here on this podcast. And being the first is very very special, to me and everyone else. But
Uh,
do you know that New Bedford also raised the first Cape Verdean Blue Angel, and that was David Gonzalez.
yes, I'm
And I
familiar.
try to get him on the podcast all the time,
Mhm.
but he just not seeing it. He's reluctant. And what bothers me is that he tells me we could sit together and go for about 2 hours, and he would tell me one story after another. And I said,
Mhm.
"This is a great podcast. Come on." I said, "Just join me." And he doesn't do it.
Yeah. Uh, Charlie, if I may, I would share with the audience, and again, I thank you for the compliments and kind words, but I'm a very humble guy, and
Yes.
no success, and this I would share this with any military leader, and I have, and other organizations as well, but you're not going to succeed alone, nor should you define leadership as a label, as a nameplate on your desk. The success comes from those that you give the privilege to serve or resource them to do well. And that takes
Hmm.
a little time. I can tell you, second lieutenant and first lieutenant Brito screwed it up day and left and right. But you get better with time and opportunities. And of course, mine were within the military, but learned a ton. But when you maintain your humility for one,
Yes.
over time, go through the reps and sets and bumps and bruises and success and failures, you'll create opportunities for folks to be the best version of themselves, whatever the profession is going to be. And that's the end of the day what it's about. Now, I'll be the first to admit I joined, and my first choice was to join the infantry. I joined the infantry, and I stayed infantry my entire time until you become a general. You're a generalist, and you do what the army needs you to do. Then,
Hmm.
which I did, and I was a general for 11 years, from 1 to 4 star. And so you learn a lot. But my point and what I would offer, especially to any young folks out there, or any profession that may be in a leadership position, if you're doing it for your label, your salary, your name tape on your door, you're going to create your own ceiling.
Mm.
Yeah, my opinion, I would offer.
I
Uh,
agree.
but if you spin that to those that you want to inspire to be the best they can be, true selfless service, which takes a little time. That's the end. That's where you want to get. And on the comment that you mentioned being the first, I'm humbled for that, truly. And there'll probably be a day I sit in my rocking chair and go back and see some history that may be there
Hmm.
uh, over time, but others will write it. I plan on doing a book myself. To be honest with you, started already.
That
Um,
was my
and
next question.
yep, it's going to take a little bit because I know which way I want to go. So it's
Yeah.
going to take a little help. I'm not in a rush for it, but tied to the first, and I mentioned this in one of your earlier questions. If you can be by being genuine and authentic, if that happens to be something inspirational, great. But don't work for that. And
Hmm.
I won't bore you with the story, but I was fortunate to learn that my very first assignment in Germany from a very crusty non-commissioned officer who was retiring. He pulled me aside and said, "This is the quote: ALT, always work for your soldiers and not for your evaluation report. Everything's going to be okay." And
Wow.
I was a little, I didn't know what the heck that meant as a 20, I think I was 23, I don't know at the time. But over time, use that as a guidepost on what to do the right thing. And it worked. You applied it differently. But what that gave is the why.
Yeah.
The why you're putting on the boots, the why you're going to be professional, the why you stay physically fit, the why you do the right thing in combat, which I went to a couple times. So when you understand that why, uh, it inspires you, the individual, to be the best leader he or she can be. But more importantly, it takes care of those, in my case, the troops in the formation. You
Yes.
got me on a roll there, but I'll slow down.
No, I like that. I can. You know what? Putting you in front of me is may not be good as a host of a podcast because I'll sit here and listen to your stories and and just absorb it because as a 30-year veteran of the police department, we always said you have the right to remain silent. But on podcast, I don't let anybody be silent. I let them talk and just tell stories. I'm very, very, very history means a lot to me. So when I am listening to pieces of history, I enjoy it. I'm like a kid in a candy store when it comes to somebody like you. You know.
And I also want to thank you for your service. 30 years in the police force is something to be commended on. So thank you.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm very proud of my career, but I won't do it again. Um, I would, if I had to do it again, if the good Lord asked me, "What do you want to do now?" The one thing I would say, I would love to be a lawyer, to be a judge,
Okay.
uh, and that would be something that if he was asking, that's what I would say. Only because I in and out of the system, court system. I think that's a place where you can be so impactful. And I'm not saying more than my 30-year career. I think I did a lot at that level. But I think that would be a place where that I wouldn't mind doing. I'd probably be stressed. Um, and but if I was asked, that's what I would do. I
That's
mean, the
commendable.
yeah, the thing that everyone would say is probably, "I want to be rich. I want to," but I'm thinking on a as a lack of a better word, layman's terms. I just want to be a worker, going to work every day. I want to do that thing. I just want to do what I have to because I try to be a good humanitarian. So any job that has that attachment to it, then I'm gonna do it. So um,
That's no, that's
the
that's commendable.
thank you. The podcast that I've been doing since 2020, and I always try to do what I can and get people on there. One of the questions I always ask my guests is, "Who would you like to see on the Really Charlie podcast?"
Hmm. Well, I got to give that one some thought. Do you
Okay,
limit your audience or just anyone inspirational to you?
anybody. It
Mhm.
because I reached out to stars and um, from stars to street people. I've always
Okay.
reached out and I always made an effort to do it. Sometimes it goes on deaf ears, and then sometimes people respond. And
Okay. You know what I want to do, Charlie? And is it a person that happens to be in the Army, Cape Verdean,
mm,
is in a very influential position? But I want to check with that person, and I
yeah,
want to make sure by recommending this person, I'm not creating any challenges for that person first. So
I
I want
am.
to do that, and I'll come back to you point to point. I'm thinking that it'll be no issue whatsoever, but this could be a help a young person catapult herself in this position. So let me
I
do that.
okay.
And fair enough. Fair enough. Mhm.
Well, we definitely communicated with each other for the past 2 weeks, and
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
know how to reach out to each other. And you
Mhm.
just let me know. I I know your time's limited, so I just want to
No, I'm fine.
um
I'm good for a while. So if
okay.
I may, you made me think of something when you talk about being and being a worker. Oh, just being in the doing what you want to do. And again, I share this with, and I don't know the whole makeup of the audience, but for those young folks in the audience, which is where my inspiration is,
Hmm.
uh, to give anything you can. I won't say bootstrap, but any guidepost for someone to follow is never underestimate this. I can trace directly back to childhood, and I won't say it was always fun, especially with my mother being divorced for a second time and issues related to that. That was not great, but we all learned from it.
Hmm.
But regardless of the position you hold, how much rank you may have, or title you may have in whatever organization, I'll just generically, whatever organization, I would offer up to those that are just starting their journey, halfway through their journey, towards the end of their journey, don't lose your moral compass. Don't start writing your own press. And by that, spelling your own stuff. I'll just leave it that
Yeah.
way. And never underestimate, the value of just saying hello, shaking a person's hand, pat them on the back, and recognizing those small events. It could be a birthday, a reenlistment. Hey, you had your first baby, anything like that. And
Hmm.
all three of those things, just small examples, you can expand it. the military, police force, working in a hospital, a volunteer somewhere. Those things can help you build a strong fiber in your organization, whether it's a squad of 9 people to the organization I just left of 40,000 people.
Hmm.
Those simple things are, I would recommend, and inherent for the responsibility of a leader. And it's easy, big payback for their effort. You know, how you doing today? Here's a challenge point for doing a great thing. Be genuine with it, because if you're not, they're going to see through that in a moment. But you maybe think about this when you talk about post police force opportunities. Now, those little things really do go a long way, and you might be surprised. I'm an example of it. You might be surprised what you spark in somebody
Mm.
for them to continue to grow and develop themselves. Uh, I'm taking away in the way back machine, but I mentioned I got accepted to Penn State. Literally caught a bus from Hyannis to Boston. From Boston, got on an Amtrak, took the Amtrak to Altoona, Pennsylvania, to see the university, and made
Yep.
the decision then, whatever it takes, I'm going to finish this. This is my birthday weekend, my senior year in high school. Then went back and obviously came back a couple of years later. I mean, sorry, a couple of months later. This past weekend, Charlie, I went back to Altoona, Pennsylvania,
Wow.
and did the commencement exercise for their 4-year program. Almost
Love it.
almost 40, well, over 40 years, I guess.
Hmm.
But kind of the point is the work ethic learned at home, treating with people with dignity and respect, having a moral compass to do what's right amongst all the chaos in the world, chaos in the workplace. It can help you succeed if that's the way you want to go. And I would add, you may not, to the young folks again, you may not know what path you've been destined to follow, but you're going to go that way one way or another.
Yeah.
uh, Bumps and bruises, and you know this from the police force as well. But amongst all of that, if you held on to your character, you held on to your reputation, and the good family values that you may have had, and you learn from some bad stuff as well. All that to get you through those bumps and bruises, obstacles, the whole bit. And there's no room for discrimination and racism, and there's just no room for it. Everybody treated with dignity and respect, and it all works out fine. And the higher, the more positional authority and responsibility you get, whether it's rank, police lieutenant, police sergeant,
Hmm.
assistant supervisor on a factory floor, all that selfless leadership, the professionalism, authenticity, being a genuine leader just simply helps. And those
Yes, it
in the
does.
formation deserves it. They just deserve it. You think about it that way, just as you did at some
I
point. I'm going too far. You got me on a roll here. I'll stop, but just
no,
wanted to
I
share that.
that is that's that's a clip. That's inspiring clip, and that made if it lasts 2 minutes, it's something that inspires someone just on those mere words. We get inspired every single day by being on social media and listening to different clips, whether they're good, bad, or ugly, but they inspire you to do good, bad, and ugly. And so when you talk and speak like that, it someone's gonna see it, someone's gonna capture what you're just saying. Someone may just be stepping into the boots or the shoes of a leader, and then they hear what you just said, and then it kind of triggers it. I mean, you talked about Germany, how you get an inspirational quote that you carry on throughout your career, right, and throughout your
I
life.
have, I have.
And so that's your words are definitely right there to do the same exact thing. And so my dad used to always tell me he says two things: don't have theory without practice, and I follow that so well. And then a title given is a title earned, and he used to tell me that all the time. Now, mind you, my dad was a Rolling Stone. We got five brothers, one sister, and we all have the same father, different mothers, but we love each other so much. And so when he was always, coming up with those quick quotes, and it stuck with me so much, those things. Um, and just to tell you, my family, the one thing that they fear, right, out of all the punishments that my wife and I gave them, the one punishment they fear is writing out of a dictionary. When they and I said, look, you got to write these many words, whatever it may be. It may be the thickness of maybe this, right?
Right?
And you start from word one until you get to the end, and they would write everything. I said, when you're done, you can you can go back to the way things are, right? Just
Mhm.
follow the rules. And it would take them so long to just write everything. And I made sure that they wrote everything, didn't miss anything, comma, everything, punctuation, it all applied. And it always worked. I think it always worked because there's not too many times there were repeat offenders in my family once they went through that dictionary.
Repeat offenders, okay. But
Yeah,
probably learned a lot from that as well. I would venture that that serves them well today and the communication skills.
sure does.
Yeah.
And actually, today you ask any young person to write, it's difficult. I said, just write this quick paragraph right here. No,
I
don't
saw
text
that a
it.
lot in recruits.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's I was in the school system for a little while, couple of years, after retiring, and writing is difficult, and with throughout the ranks of, I say, up to the fifth grade where I was, even when I was at the middle school as a police officer, writing was difficult. It was I couldn't understand poor penmanship, but it applied to most people, and but everyone's used to texting or typing, and I wish we can get back to that old thing, but looks like it's not going to happen.
I don't think as much. You're right. It's a generational adjustment, but
Mhm.
that's where we need to go. And use of AI and other things as well. It's here. It's not coming. It's here.
Yeah, exactly. Here, front and center, and just in a short year, it's gotten better, right?
Yeah.
It's actually progressed, and so that's how fast it hit us, and it's improving all the time. So technology waits for nobody.
It can be leveraged just like anything out there. We're both seasoned. I won't say old, but seasoned enough when the first cell phones and first computers, and it just leveraged the tool. The way I look
Yeah,
at it, and I'm
it
seeing
sure
that
did.
now as I try this next chapter of life.
It's so true. Do you care to share what you're doing now?
No, I mind, don't mind whatsoever. One, we finally took a little retirement vacation a few weeks ago, so recharged. I'm always 100% guilty of having a whole lot of energy, so I do still.
Hmm.
But I've started up LLC. My wife and I working together on that. I will be doing some consulting, advisory work, more advisory work as well, and on organizational leadership, dealing with crises, merger, risk management, just getting it started. And I like to do guest speaking, some of which are free, some of which hopefully you pay for as well. But
Exactly.
I'll continue to venture down that lane. I was in Boston just last week doing a speech. Had one the other day at Penn State. Looking for more of those as well. That's the route we're taking, to include looking for a house, which you're going to find a place to live soon as well,
All
and
right.
continue to give back as much as we can. Two sons. I failed to mention at the beginning. Two sons, but no daughter-in-laws or grandkids yet, but that'll come in time, hopefully. And
Hmm.
my oldest one is a Department of the Army civilian here in Virginia, and my youngest one's an Apache helicopter pilot. In overseas assignment
Congratulations.
right now, but been blessed, and
Yes.
but planning to do more quality and quantity time with both my wife and family, to include getting back up to the Cape. Well, I have family around the New England area quite a bit, quite a few. more often than I was able to on active duty.
I totally understand that. It and congratulations on that, the fabulous family. And when you sometimes where we become parents unexpectedly. And what I always say is you got to make sure you want to be a parent. Don't get forced into it because then things don't come out right at the end. And I truly love being a parent, but I love being a grandparent. It's the
Uh,
pupper. That title of
get there
pupper
one day.
is the greatest thing in the world, man.
Hoping to get there one day.
Yeah, you
And
will.
yeah, and I saw this more towards the end of the career. I'm extremely proud of the Cape Verdean heritage. Period.
Yes,
Both
me too.
great grandparents from both sides actually came from Saint Nicolau. In 2018, December 2018, I had an opportunity to go to Pryor and speak at the Centennial,
Mm,
and it was, I mean, sorry, Bicentennial. I apologize. And it was such a great stepping off the plane, just felt home right away,
yeah.
and uh, people that knew the family lineage more than I did.
Hmm.
The warmth of the island, even though it was winter time, kind of at the time. So looking for, and I will make another opportunity as well. But I felt extremely privileged and was tied to, because of a military opportunity, was able to do that, and was able to validate everything my great grandfather said was true,
Yeah.
which is
It's
which was awesome. Put it simple.
I can't wait to get there. Haven't gone yet. I really want to go, but I there's conditions. One, I don't want to go unless my wife's with me. Um, and so that's there was always an opportunity where one of us probably could go and the other one wouldn't or couldn't. So but I also said that I wanted to share that experience and touching that soil. Um, with her so we can just enjoy it. I want to share that as people that are in marriage. That's just something it's almost like a ceremony, and it is a ceremony when you touch down and just feel that grass and feel the soil, feel everything, the sand, everything. I just want to see it and feel it. I'm seeing it in pictures, but I want to feel Cabo Verde, and I can't wait
I
to
say
do that.
go for it. Go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, we will. I think, especially we just took a short trip, um, down to Atlantic City to see the induction of the Tavares brothers and the
Yeah, I read about that.
yeah, and I can't. I just was glad I was there. Very glad. Um, so the because the advertisement of of our podcast right now, I have quite a few military people that want to come on, that are retired.
Good.
And so I can't wait, including Paul Paris.
Yeah,
Some of his childhood friends will be coming on um, from uh, from 4 years in the service to 25 years. They'll be coming on together. It's two brothers, and I can't wait to see that. You know,
that's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I've
So,
met several just traveling around, obviously, and to include New Bedford, of course. But military is not it's a profession. It's not it shouldn't be looked at as a job. It's an opportunity, a
hmm,
profession, whether it's active duty, National Guard, or Reserve. And my advice to folks is once you take the oath, you've taken the oath. And
exactly.
professions have oaths, professions have contracts, professions have values, and just treated as such. And I'm 100% fine if you join for the college money. You're going to do 2 years, great. But the 2 years you do it well. If you
Yes.
want to stay in it longer, do it well.
Hmm.
Be a person be a leader that people want to be led by. Be a follower that leaders want to lead. And I can hook that straight back to work ethic, values, that you learned in a good way or you learned in a bad way, but either way, they apply. And lastly, not to be morbid on this at all, but the military deploys,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to be ready for that. And
Yeah.
the dignity and respect. I don't care if you're purple hair, blue eyes, or blue eyes and blonde hair, dark skin and brown hair. It doesn't matter. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're serving in uniform, and that's what you're living for and training for. And I've seen that twice in Iraq and once in Afghanistan myself. And
Wow.
that's what it's all about. And that'll give you your why in a minute,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you
Yes.
have responsibility. But again, not to end on that topic, it's I've been truly blessed to have served not a path at all that I would have seen coming out of high school in Marshall High School in Martin Highness, Massachusetts,
Mm-hmm.
but the path that was laid ahead of me somehow, and feel very blessed to have finished 30 years and extremely blessed and honored to have attain the rank of four-star general, which is not a lot of them.
Yeah.
Trust
I,
me there.
I, I
And I'll
that's
stop there.
a great accomplishment, and uh, like I said, you're making a lot of us proud. And that comes from within your house out to all parts of the world. People are proud of what you've done, and
I thank you for that, and I thank you for their love and support,
yeah,
whether
the
blood family or not.
exactly. Paulo Parra said that he says, "I did it for the boom and loved every minute of it."
Yes,
And
I read that. Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah, he has some crazy stories. I can't wait to get him on because we're childhood friends. So you know how childhood friends act. There's no barriers. We just go at it, and have some fun with it. You can tell it like it is. I remember when he wore Pro Kid sneakers, and I remember when I wore Converse All Star sneakers. And whether they had holes or not, we go as far as that, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. You know.
Excellent.
So the let's see. Um, all right. So what I'm gonna do is why don't you kind of close this podcast as best you can.
Sure.
Only only because I hope this is our first, but I hope it's not our last time that we get to communicate like this. And
Well, I'll make the commitment, and it won't be the last. And thank you for the opportunity. And Paulo, thanks for connecting us. And again, now that I have more time to focus on things that helped me get to where I was, I want to do just that. So, again, thank you for the opportunity, Charlie. And I know I keep going back to the younger folks that could be out in the audience or may see this, but that's where my last 40 years was. So I'll continue that way. Just be a
awesome,
damn good person. Be a person of dignity. Treat others with dignity and respect. If you're in a leadership position, lead well. If you're in a follow position, follow well. And it's all part of the ecosystem. Dignity and respect goes a long way, especially it helps fight through crises and chaos. So, albeit at the end of the day, that's what this great country of ours is all about. Same with CV Islands as well. And thank you for the opportunity. I know I've been blessed, and I'll continue to share that as well. Thank you, Charlie, for again, and you have a great week.
you're welcome. And um, Gary, you God bless you. I wish you well every single moment of your life, and enjoy your wife, enjoy the family, and I'm gonna continue to follow you. But feel free, you can call me anytime, and you know, uh, reach out to your friend that you want to have on the podcast, and we'll make it happen just because you requested it.
No, I won't hesitate, and I've already sent him a little warning, so you hear something soon. I just don't want to commit. Make sure he will commit before I commit him,
All right,
and
awesome.
her, please. All right.
Yes,
Hey, again, thank you for the opportunity, and to the entire audience, God bless us all, and thank you very much.
thank you. All right, have a good day, and I'll see you. I know you have
Certainly
commitments,
will.
so I'll
Appreciate
talk
it.
to you later. Bye bye. That is one of my greatest accomplishments right there, and I had many. but to speak to someone at that stature is amazing, and we had him here on the Really Charlie podcast. Um, I wish him well. I know he's going to do amazing things because that's what he did all his life. So we're going to continue to watch the general do his thing as a civilian, and I cannot wait. Did you hear that? He's going to write a book. Could you imagine cover to cover what that book is going to look like? What that book is going to kind of say? It's just going to be amazing. I cannot wait for that. So, and there's one thing I know: you can't rush an author when it comes writing their book because it's so many of feelings and emotions, and it also is something that's in a it's something that's going to be part of you for the rest of your life once you put that book out and publish it. So he's got to do it right, and he's got to do it his way, and I cannot wait to see it. No matter what way he goes, it's going to be amazing. So I want to actually give a thanks to Paulo Paris. Thank you for igniting the switch to get Gary Brito here on the Really Charlie podcast. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to have you on in a couple of weeks. There's many people coming on tomorrow. I'm going to be on a podcast for quite a few hours from 7 p.m. Eastern time to 10 p.m. With different podcasts. So it's going to be a busy week for me. But as you see, we got great guests. Gary Brito, my man, my new friend. I am so happy that you came on this podcast. So thank you everyone on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. There was a problem with it, but I have to kind of reload it and add the video to LinkedIn. We are on LinkedIn. I truly appreciate it, and I will talk to you guys later. This is my break time between the jobs, so you know, got to get some things done. But I will see you guys tomorrow around 7 p.m. Eastern time. All right, take care. I appreciate it, and God bless.